many years helping up the Shield before I became a member. When I became a police officer, I joined this organization. I understand how my father liked this organization. There's a bit of people like you standing up and running. This is one of the best organizations I belong to, the numerous on the department. And just my father be proud to be here to wish you congratulations and congratulations.
Board Member John Colorado is gonna advise Richie and Rose about a special event we have planned to honor this evening further in the future in September.
Rosemary, I hope you have a wall unit for all these plaques, because Billy told me he only had 2 prior to this. He's got a lot more to do tonight. But I just want to say I met Richie about 10 years ago at the Shields golf outing at the Villa Roma. And he was driving around in a cart handing beers out to the guys, right? Because he doesn't golf, so that was his thing. And I promptly tried to tip him $5 because I didn't know he was. I want my phone.
He took it, right?
No, honestly, I didn't know that. Who would have known this many years later that I'd be here speaking in his honor, and I'm honored to be on the board which you preside, and thank you for setting an example of leadership and dedication for young people to follow, and thank you. Your board would like to present you with something tonight. In honor of your many years of service to the organization and your loyalty to your board members, we, the board, Long Island Shields, would like to treat you and your wife, Rosemary, to a weekend in New York City. You will be provided chauffeur-driven transportation, round trip, on Saturday, September 22nd, to the Iroquois Hotel. There you'll have dinner at their, they have a 4-star restaurant in the hotel, you'll have dinner there. And you'll enjoy, on Sunday, at the Gershwin Theater, you will have tickets to the smash hit musical Wicked for you and your wife, and you will be transported back home, chauffeur-driven also. So, congratulations to you both. And I'm younger than Sean, by the way.
Okay, this will be the family part of the event. I'm gonna ask Rose to come up, along with Jennifer and Ryan. Come up front. Well, Billy's bringing the flowers. Richie said, and Bill too, don't forget Bill. Bill's bringing the flowers. On behalf of the board, for sharing your husband with us, the countless hours, without him, we get to have him. And Jennifer, all the years that you shared your dad with us. And Ryan, I'm going to shake your hand. Thank you very much.
That's good, thank you.
I'm going to bring up a former president of the Shield, Billy Lombard, going to come up and say a couple of words. Bill Lombard.
You know, I know Richie a long time, and everybody has been here saying how wonderful he is. He's the best president ever. But I know Richie before he was president. In fact, I know Richie before he was on the board. It was during my term that he joined the board. And the reason he joined the board is he was the biggest buster in the audience. Remember? He used to jump up at every meeting and he busted my shoes at every single meeting. I said to the nominating committee, listen, we got to get him out of the audience and up here with us. And that's how he got on the board.
promise of winding down. So a couple of housekeeping things I have to announce. The flowers were donated to us by Keith Lanzada of Art Flower and Gift Shop, Rockville Center. And I just want to let Richie know that the board ourselves, we chipped in. We're sending you guys to the city. We're sending you guys this show. We'll let you know that's what we're going to share with you and your family because all the time you put it with us. Now. No, he still tries to tin his way through. Now we're going to have Billy Petito, who's got the hard part of speaking before his father.
How are you all doing tonight? I'm quite frankly very humbled by the size of the crowd here to honor my dad. I want to congratulate the Police Officers of the Month, the detective from the 3rd. I wish I could have given a little more time and spoke with you a little bit, but I've been for the past couple of weeks trying to pull this off, a little frazzled, but great job. And I did tell you when I saw you in the restroom, I wrote it up, so it wasn't the chief there, it was me who wrote it, he just read it.
Thanks, Bill.
And I'd like to congratulate all the scholarship winners. Man, a long time ago when I got my scholarship. First off, before I get into talking about my dad, I'd like to really thank some friends from working with here. Number one, the new man, Kenneth Jackson, commanding officer now on my job, and transit. Thank you for coming, boys, and the new member guys here tonight. I'd like to thank Billy Grimes. Me and him got promoted to sergeant together. Seeing you here means a lot. And Richie Bedone was here. He's everybody's pal. And I'll put the 2 detectives I got here, Kevin and Bobby, up against anyone in any of on the big job, man. I don't care. They're the best. All right, that's done. I'm gonna forget some people here, but I want to thank the entire board for contributing. Everybody contributed in their own way. And I really want to thank Rick. Rick is the guy who, at the executive board meeting in January, this all started with Rick planting this seed in January. He, at the board meeting, can I take this off and up a little bit? All right, Rick. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Rick at the executive board meeting suggested, a little subconsciously, little innuendo. He was like, you know what? The scholarship meeting's in June. He said, why don't we make that a bigger meeting? You know, get a nice carving station, get some hors d'oeuvres, maybe some extra liquor and stuff. You know, yeah, we'll get the stone. And this was like, we were like, okay, you know, so after the meeting, he talks to my army, he goes, you know, we honor people all the time, you know, why don't we honor your father? Let's do it that night, make it something special. So I want to really thank Rick for getting the ball rolling. And then me, Rick, Jack, and Mike Villa, we went out for a bite to eat and started to map this thing out. And that's when they're like, well, we gotta make time for this during the meeting. So I'm like, all right, we come up with the concept of getting a fake guest speaker. Sure enough, 2 weeks earlier, this guy had seen Stone at Anton's in Queens Village, and all I heard was, oh God, you gotta see this guy. You gotta, hey, all right, I said, here we go, hook, line, and sinker. I said, we'll be able to get him, we'll tell him we're getting for Stone. We'll say he'll be so excited. We'll say we'll open it up to families, bring your spouses, and people are there. And he can next year here to see the Stone because he was so excited. I'm like, okay. So I reach out to Timmy, who I got to thank. Thank you very much, Tim. Tim had sleepless nights, afraid my father was going to be mad at him for us setting him up. And he reached out to Randy, who by the way just joined tonight. Thank you, Randy Jurgensen. And Randy, the fix was in, and we were off. So everything went great. You know, we decided right from the get-go when we met. We said, the chief here, he's the guy who's going to MC it. It's you know, the natural as he is. He's just the man. And hey, ain't bad. We finalized this. We actually put all across the T's and dotted the I's just yesterday afternoon over lunch. Not bad when you're at work and you're getting to have a snack with a 2-star chief, but it's not a bad gig. So. But I gotta really thank you for remaining on the board as you've ascended to such great positions within the department. A lot of people lose time because they have such a busy schedule, and you staying on this board gives us a much needed credibility by staying and not just staying and having a title, but staying and being active. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And we had people all over. I mean, we even had Keith Bettinger, who his son apparently had a medical issue. Keith was going to be on the plane out here for this. And Keith was making suggestions over the internet and stuff. And, you know, so many people were involved. I'm going to forget people. Like I said, Keith lends a lot of the flowers, the centerpieces and everything. Tommy Solari here, who sets up all the food and everything, does a great job. Joe Conway and Don Camarada, the video, the pictures, all the time. John Langton, the plaques. Gary Hughes, thank you so much. Jennifer, great job doing the montage. This is like actually a sort of funny story. A couple weeks ago, I go fishing around for pictures to put in a montage. Now, mind you, that's in my father's office. Mind you, that's where you can't step, walk, anything, because it's a disaster. It's just so. I'm like, okay, I can go through anything here. I can go through anything, and nobody's gonna realize I messed around with anything. I'm going through drawers. Next day, she's like, oh, thanks a lot. He's screaming and yelling at me that I went through his office, rummaging through everything. I'm like, how the heck can you see that? How the heck can you even realize that somebody rummaged through that disaster area? I mean, I was like, oh, so I'm sorry, Jen, I got you a little jammed up. But. I knew he would, but he didn't think he could find it. Who did ask you?
You left it such a mess.
Yeah, but it was such a mess to begin with. All right, now this is it. All right, now I get to talk about my dad, and you know, this is just, it's as easy as it should be. It's going to be one of the most difficult things in the world to try to put into words how and describe someone you care about so much and respect so much. But I'm going to try to do it. When I think of my dad, there were words that I think of all the time. Respect, honor, loyalty, generosity, compassion. You know, you can go on, you know, with all sorts of similar words and stuff. The members here, they get to see him at the games for the physically challenged, volunteering for what, 30 years now, whatever it is. Collected toys for St. Christopher's, placing flags at the graves with little kids in the morning. I mean, as you can see, it's undying passion, keeping names alive, such as Cardillo, Shue, Kelleher, just mentioning a few. I mean, it's just something that you guys see, but I see the other side. I see the other side at home that some of you know, who know him well, but some don't. Everything he does is for somebody else. It doesn't, you know, there are a lot of guys here, I'll tell you right now, who have details or gigs that, I know you guys have picked up phone calls and said, hey, what can you do? And I remember when I was a kid, I was in my teens, and he said to me one day, my mom was busting his hump and saying, hey, well, you know, why are you studying for that sergeant test? You know, giving him a hard time. And he looks at me and he goes, with the people I know tomorrow, I could be a detective if I wanted to, and walk in and be a detective. He goes, but I'm not willing to do what it would take to do that. He said, maybe someday you'll understand that. And I remember that. And you know what? I mean, and the funny part is but if you picked up the phone, if somebody else picked up the phone and said, I want to be a detective, he'd go through a brick wall to give you that gig. But, you know, he just doesn't do it for him. That's just the way the type of person he is. I mean, I got promoted to sergeant. You know, that was a promotion for him, in my opinion. I mean, that's why I want to get promoted. But no, that was he wanted to throw a wedding for me. He wanted to, for getting straight. He wanted to have a party at a place like this. And we toned it down to dinner for like 12 people at this high-class restaurant where he dropped about $1,800, at least, I think. You know, but, you know, I mean, that's what he does. You know, but I mean, the thing that really shows the person he is was back in '01 when my mom unexpectedly died. My nephew was 6 months old, and my father turned around and he took his business office. My mother, the way the plan was supposed to work was my mother was supposed to watch my nephew Ryan while my sister and my brother-in-law worked. And my father would work at his office. My father took his office and everything, shut down the office where it was in Seaford, and decided to move it into Massapequa. Every evening to this day, over 10 years, he spends the night in Belmore with his wife, and at 7 a.m. he's in Massapequa while my sister goes to work, taking my nephew to school in the morning, picking him up after school while working all day. I mean, who does that? I mean, he's supposed to be in his golden years. He's in his 70s, and he's still giving and doing. I mean, I don't know people who would do that. It's just unbelievable to me. You know, I mean, and, you know, he sits there and, you know, it's funny, I go to pick up Ryan at the school sometimes, and, you know, it's almost like, you know, I figure, okay, we got some young single moms maybe or something. No, they're disappointed. Everyone's disappointed. They want to see him. Oh, where's Richie, you know? You're here today? And I'm like, no, come on, cut me some slack, you know? Like, sitting there, no, where's Richie? He's like, you know, the mayor of the school there, and so, you know, but who goes out, he buys the crossing guards who sit there, he buys them gift certificates for when he walks to school. He bought the entire 6th grade class book bags commemorating their graduation. 6th grade, this is a guy who retired on a cop pension in the mid-90s. Not really making the biggest of bucks back then, were you? You know what I mean? And he's buying classes, you know, gifts and stuff. I mean, you know, that's not Rockefeller. There's not Rockefeller money there, but that's what he chooses to do. Like I said, I could go on and do this all night. There are so many stories, but I want to wrap this up. And you know, I have a personal theory in life where I like to say that, and this is just very simple for me because I always say to myself, if I can be half the person and half the man my father is, I mean, I'm a pretty damn good man. In closing, I want to say I love you. You're my friend, my hero, and I would like to thank all of you here tonight for taking part in honoring the greatest person I know, my dad.
Salute to you, everybody. Great job, Bill. Okay, Rich, now I get to put you on the spot following that act and give you your microphone back. The man who needs no introduction, Richie Petito.
The word thank you cannot express the way I feel. Before I say anything else, I promised Joe McGarry I would tell you, first of all, on June 26th, there's a Transit Bureau Memorial Mass at St. Anastasius in Brooklyn, okay? Okay, thank you. And these are things that have to be. Mike Morgillo is a Transit Bureau trustee from the PBA. His wife, Chris, is having a biopsy on her lung at Sloan Kettering, and she suffered a stroke. Say a prayer for Chris. She's recovering right now, but she needs your prayers. And last but not least, Joe McGarry's Lodge, 317, is going to have a barbecue meeting June 28th, 7 o'clock at Hicksville State Lodge. Get this. I know this will get your attention. There'll be no charge for the meeting. And they'll be discussing a lot of things, but those are some of the things that new business, old business. Words really don't even come to me tonight. I was wondering, I see the man that got me started with the games for physically challenged. Pete Bradley's in here in full dress. Gee, that's something. He hasn't been to a meeting in probably about 15 years. Man, I love Pete Catalina sitting here. Pete, thank you for everything you've done for us. I appreciate it so much. I have a policy of not naming people. Because once you start naming people, Randy, I will get even though. Once you start naming people, you always forget somebody. And that's the person that you may insult. But I just have people around the room. Joe Dwyer, who was so great to me many years on the job. introduced me to Louis Matarazzo, Ron DeVito, helped me when they weren't participating in the hostile takeover. Joe was one of the best friends the Transit Police Department had. Charlie Caputo, I love you, Charlie. Joe McGarry. These are just people that I can't say enough about. And I know I'm going to miss somebody along the way. Humbly, and you know, my wife Joan died in 2000. Never in my life did I ever think I'd ever meet somebody I would ever marry again. It was ironic. First time we talked on the phone, Rosemary and I, my son Bill called up that night. He said, guess who just got promoted to sergeant? He got promoted that night that we talked on the phone. So we knew it was a good deal. It was going all the way. Rosemary, I love you. Thank you for everything. Jennifer, thank you. You know what I'm most amazed about? My grandson, which is the love of my life, he's got me twice now. He holds these things. Last year, in August, they had a 70th birthday party for me. He knew about it 2 months, 3 months in advance. He never told anybody, and he knew about it, and he kept the secret. Now he kept the secret on this. I'm not going to hold it against you, I still love you. I really don't know what to say, and all I can say is thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love this organization. I love the guys I work with. Anybody, when you're on the job, police officer, no matter what rank, be proud of what you do. Do it for everybody, not only for yourself. Help everybody, and the world will be a better place. Thank you very much.
Okay, it's getting a little too emotional. We'll have to break it up and get a few words from Rabbi Berkowitz. Everybody knows he's gonna, you're not sending us off, Rabbi. I got Reverend Anderson here, and I want to start a religious war here, so I gotta get the priest up, I'll get the Reverend up, and I'll get the Rabbi up. And here's Rabbi Berkowitz.
Doesn't look 16 years younger?
Suddenly I feel Jewish.
No, it's not. Two more mysteries. Anyway. Hi, everybody. Are you all tired or you want to go home? What do you want to do? First of all, you know, I get congratulations too. This weekend is my 40th wedding anniversary. You notice my wife is not here. But anyway, success to wedding, 40 years. I took a vow of silence when I got married. Only in the house. But I want you, this is really what, first of all, $1,800 you spent on your father for dinner? 1,800 bucks? Oh, you spent on you. I can't even get a lousy kosher meal here. Coffee, water. No wonder I can't even get to Howard Beach if I stop doing something else in between. Anyway, those of you who are young, you'll understand later. But I want you to know there's really a fascinating audience over here, and don't take it for granted. It's not easy getting someone to come, especially to be honored. A few months ago, I was invited by the Montgomery Sheriff's Department in Alabama to be a guest speaker about motivational speaking, to hear about my exploits with the transit police. And currently the MTA police, which I'm very proud to be of as well. And they invited me, and I was very proud to be down there. Rabbi, we want you to be down there at 7 p.m. They gave it a whole, very nice. They flew me down there. It was very nice. So I get over there, be at 7 o'clock. I came earlier, just in case I want you to know what's going on over here. And there's nobody shows up. Wow, at least I saw it in Montgomery, Alabama. So I get over there, I'm waiting. Got at 6 o'clock, I'm supposed to speak at 7 p.m. Still nobody shows up. What's going on over here? Waiting. Oh, finally one person walks in at 7:10. So I figured maybe more people come, maybe, maybe in the South they do things differently, I have no idea. So I waited a few more minutes, nobody showed up, except for that gentleman, so he's sitting down. So before I started my speech, I told him, listen, with all due respect, I appreciate you came to listen, nobody else shows up. I said, don't get excited, I'm the next speaker over here. By the way, you became a chief, congratulations. God help you. Anyway, especially in Nassau County, my God. As a matter of fact, my wife wonders, she never comes to the meeting, you notice?
I noticed.
And she asked me, what do you do over here, all these meetings? I said, this is where I practice my material for my synagogue sermon. Thank you very much for the opportunity over here. But really, on a more serious note, when I joined the transit police, and that in itself was a blessing. I met the greatest guys in the world. By the way, Richie, that trip you're getting for the weekend, they pulled out, guess what you're going with? That's not a chauffeur limo. You're going in old suburban black and white for the old transit police. And you're going to be cuffed to the seat also. Rosemary, I know this guy better than you do, so watch out. Anyway, I'll talk to you afterwards. But Richie was one of the first people I got to know the transit police, and I'll tell you why. I began the program, where's Harry? Harry Hester, where are you, Harry? I'll get to know. When I joined the transit police back in 1978 as a volunteer chaplain, I never expected to have a job. Well, this thing, it's a real job today. But one of the first people I met was Rich Petito, and I'll tell you why. Rich was in charge of the sick desk. And I thought everybody in the transit police was sick. Until Rich. Rich went to this cop, he's sick. I said, he's sick. And then Rich, of course, explained to me, these are the cops who have been out sick. But the reason why I had to deal with them because, you know what happens, you get a chaplain, and you get a rabbi, call him up, listen, maybe you can help me out, I got jammed up with this and that and that. And Rich was a member, one of the original members of the CIA, the Chaplain's Intelligence Agency. And I really can't forget you for sound advice. You and I had part of it was there. And by the way, it's very sensitive too. But really, Rich was one of my mentors in many different ways. And I really want to thank you for those wonderful years.
I feel good, I could mentor a rabbi.
Don't get carried away. It was just for that particular position. I got to give you a test to become a rabbi first. You got to pick another 20 years. So what are you, 70 now? 70, God bless you?
They're going to be 71.
71. All right, 20 years I'll test you again. But in the meantime, I want to congratulate you on behalf of the Chaplain's Office of the Transit Police. And right now with MTA, because we have moved over to the MTA Police, as the same Jewish, may you live till 120, and then we'll negotiate. So, congratulations, God bless you. And you can't keep my head.
Okay. One more housekeeping thing. We plan to have that poster board out so everyone in the audience can come up and sign it, just 1, 2, 3. But of course, we couldn't have the poster board out while we were waiting for Joe Pistone. Because Joe Pistone doesn't look anything like that. So if you could stay after we're done, if you'd like to come up and sign the board, we appreciate that. Anyone who's going to be at the meeting in September will have the board at the meeting in September. I know there's some people that are here just for tonight. So please, spend a few minutes afterwards and go up and sign the board. I'm going to have Reverend Anderson come up now, a closing prayer. Oh, wait a minute, Reverend Anderson, sorry. I didn't know we'd do raffles tonight. I didn't know we hit everybody up for money for raffles. This could take a half hour.
It's the best part of the night for Neil. It's the raffles. We've all been waiting for. Okay, just want to say a few things, folks, real quick. First, I'd like to congratulate our cops of the month. All right, Chris, John, great job. All great job, you guys. Really did a great job. Chris and Eric for 10 years, good guys, and it's great to see you guys. Another thing I'd like to say, Brian Petito, where are you, Brian? Brian, one of our scholarship winners. I had the extreme good fortune to get to work with Mark, Brian's dad. Great guy, real good cop. I know that he would be very proud of you. We are all proud of you, and I wish you the very best of luck in college. My name is Kiran. Real quickly, I'd just like to thank a few people tonight. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for coming. This is an idea that I had, I gotta be honest with you, I've been thinking about this for a couple of years now, and finally got the opportunity to kind of put the wheels in motion this year. I can tell you that oftentimes you have to be a little careful when you volunteer to start something around here, because quite often you end up getting the whole thing dumped on your shoulders and you do the whole thing and you're sorry you volunteered in the first place. But I want to say that with this one, I could not have gotten more help. I mean, people just took it and ran with it. I have to thank so many people: Neil, Billy, Joe, Sean, Mike, Jack, everybody. Pete Guggenheim. I mean, everybody just kind of, everybody I asked them to do anything, they just ran with it. And really, thank you all so very much. You all did a great job. Great job. Great deal. But Raffles, just one thing I'd like to mention first, though, is I was watching the news just before I left to come here tonight, and I just wanted everybody to know that, and this is great news actually, the National Horse Racing Board acknowledged Secretariat as the holder of the track records for the Kentucky Derby. This is a true story, by the way. I heard this on the news this evening.
We don't
the
care.
Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont Stakes.
You're out of order.
Yeah. So no, I just wanted to know that happened today, and that this is a true story. And the Racing Association wanted to thank the board for making their very quick decision, which was 39 years ago.